Alright, let me get the plastic off of this because of the glare. So you can look at the glare from the foil lettering in the front. Yeah, so this one's a little bit country, and I'm going to assume it's a little bit beige on the inside. So is that supposed to be like flecks of gold in a bottle, or a genie that kind of went bad? Well, anyways, yeah, I'm kind of surprised about the size of the box, because it's essentially what passes for the size of a family car in the EU nowadays. But yeah, this one's another collab from the Good Doctor and Bitewing. It's basically a reskin of Spectaculum, which kind of sounds like either one of your parents' special DVDs or something you say after somebody sneezes. Either way, there's fluids involved. Not sure if the theme is better or worse, but I'm willing to bet that most gamers would rather dig for fire than run a carnival of horrors. Let's move on to these player shields. I'll be honest, it's kind of flimsy, and it's got the structural integrity of something that was built by a novice in the dying minutes of daylight. And it's kind of got that sort of wallpaper on a saloon look. We got some of these other bits, which I'll get to in a second. And then we have a cardboard box that birthed a pack of cards and copious amounts of baggies. Alrighty then. And then we got a bag in a bag, it looks like. Let's take a look at this. Oh, that's kind of neat. It seems to be good quality. I like how the publishers are kind of rounding out the bottom of these things. Kind of like your body does when it hits its 40s. But we'll move on to the board. Yeah, let's go on to the cards, I guess. Alright, so that one's got a smidge of alliteration. All adorned with lovely artwork of a landscape. Seems to be the same on both sides. That one kind of reads like a variety store in an early sitcom. And I don't know, you'd be the last one to find gold in them hills. And that one's the most normal out of all of them, I guess. Sounds the least made up. And what's up with these? They got pickaxes? Okay, so everyone's got a secret tunnel. If I was professional, I'd weave a clip of that song in, but I don't want to get sued by whoever owns the rights to Avatar. We got that hardware store. We got 2-player raids. Last time I checked, it was a 4-player game. Kind of stingy. And these are okay. So those are the backs of the action cards. They have like little tents or whatever on them for a whopping 3 gold. We'll move on to the boards. Let's see if it's Two-Face, like that one coworker that smiles to your face and talks some ish behind your back. Oh, there's the beige. That side's got a river. Yeah, the whole thing looks like it's zoned by bees. Beige is obviously supposed to be gold. And honestly it works. Little green patches, that's kind of like the chef's kiss. It's like poorly rendered trees or mold growing in the damp basement wall. Which pairs really nice with my other hobby, collecting spores, molds, and fungus. Yeah, but there's that. Move on to the punch boards. And there's a rulebook on the bottom. I mean, there's not a ton of them, but you'll clearly be spending some quality time seeing the map before you play. It's different things on both sides. That one's got some dynamite, so you can sabotage your rivals. That's purely conjecture. I haven't played this before. And that one's got some bling bling and gemstones on that side. But yeah, they punch out pretty cleanly. Quality is okay. It's better than the tents, I'll tell you that for free. And then we'll move on to the rule book. It's almost like they're ashamed by it. It's stuffed in the bottom. It's usually the first thing you see, honestly, when you open a box. I don't know, it's about 100 pages, so light reading. You can finish this or just kind of wait until, Rodney or whatever to explain it to you. Move on to the wood. So it looks like they were all identical, but they've been reincarnated in different colors. Yeah, nothing screams deluxe like screen printed wooden bits. These are definitely not those. And I don't know what these are. It's like I don't know, they look like the 70s cold and they want their shoes back. There's enough of these to, outfit an entire dance studio of pixies. I'll move on to the deluxe stuff in a sec. Sorry, I'm going to speed this up a little bit. These are actually really nice quality, I have to say. Got different denominations. you know, it might warrant them selling this independently because this is honestly pretty good quality. And we'll move on to this add-on board, which has its emotional baggage attached to the bottom. Yeah, I know these are for each player color, but they just kind of remind me of those little tabs that you dye Easter eggs with. Yeah, and this is essentially, you know, it rose because, you know, people wanted a different way to, I guess, convert beige cubes into slightly shinier beige cubes. But it folds out, you know, folds out like an accordion, and honestly, I don't know about it. It's gonna have to kind of sit adjacent to the main board. Yeah, this is quite thick. Yeah, that's what she said. Sorry. But yeah, I was expecting just, you know, these to be made of gilded plastic. And finally, you can kind of sit and swirl premium tokens in pitch dark, pretending that, you know, your imaginary friends actually care about your score. Yeah, wow. Yeah, this is quite gratifying, I have to say. Alright, got another baggie. Well, I don't know what this one's for, but whatever. And then we have these acrylic tokens. They're not exactly like the Geek Up bits. They have kind of a texture to them, to be honest. But yeah, so these are just kind of replacements for what's in the base game. What is that? The boats? Yeah, so quite a bit of these, I have to say. And these, I guess, for the player markers, score track. I don't know. I have zero idea. And these just look like weird bits of bread. Their quality is way different, I have to say. Oh, dropped something. So the last bit of things is this bona fide Bonanza pack, because, you know, he's got a job in prospects. I forget the rest of the line. But yeah, just as a reminder, you need the base game to play. Let's give this thing a haircut. Alright, so we have a piece of paper here. Yeah, and I got a Bonanza theme song running through my head. Yeah, it's a few. Okay, that's... Alright, I don't know if this is strictly solo, but whatever. And that's all that's in there. So we have... Alright, so each one of these cards are different. They're different values at the bottom. At least I can, from what I can see. Yeah, I probably should have looked at that rule sheet a little bit more clearly, but whatever. I'm just speculating again. So maybe these are different goals or whatever it is. Huh. Alright, so one for each color or whatever. But yeah, at that point, that's it. I'm going to call it a day. Take care. Goodbye.